Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English in Advance. I'm your host, Jennifer, and I am so incredibly happy to have you here with me today. It truly, deeply warms my heart to connect with all of you, knowing we're all on this wonderful journey together. Learning English is a truly amazing adventure, isn't it? It's like going on an exciting new trip. And a big part of that trip, perhaps even the most important part, is really getting good at listening. Just take a moment and think about it. When you can truly understand what other people are saying, it's like a whole new exciting world just opens up for you. You can watch movies and really enjoy every single moment without always needing to read words on the screen. You can follow talks easily, truly understanding every twist and turn, and you'll just feel so much more sure of yourself and comfortable when you're talking with English speakers from all walks of life. Today, we're going to dive deep, really deep, into how you can truly make your English listening skills much, much better, helping you learn faster and definitely smarter. We'll make everything super easy to understand, fill it with helpful examples that just click into place, and give you lots of chances to practice right along with me, as if we're sitting side by side, learning together. So let's get started right now, right this very moment, and really sharpen those ears. First off, let's chat a bit about why listening is so incredibly, incredibly important. Imagine for a moment you're trying to have a relaxed talk with someone. If you just can't quite catch what the other person is saying, how in the world are you going to reply? How will you know what to say back? It's a bit like trying to play a fun game of tennis when you can't even see the ball coming towards you. You'd be completely lost, wouldn't you? You wouldn't know where to swing. Well, listening is truly the very first step when we talk with people. It's the important first move. It's how we gather all the information. It's how we start to understand the many different ways people speak English, all those different ways people talk from around the globe. And it's how we naturally learn the beautiful rhythm and flow of the English language. You know how words connect smoothly and how sentences go up and down in a natural song-like way. When you get truly good at listening, you'll find that your speaking improves too, almost without you trying hard, because you'll start to naturally copy how native speakers say words and put their sentences together. It's a bit like how a little baby learns to talk. They spend a long, long time, months and months, just listening to everyone around them before they even try to make sounds themselves. So, getting better at listening isn't just about understanding words. It's about building a really strong, sturdy base for all your English skills, from speaking easily to reading clearly and writing well. It's the most important building block, the very start of your English journey. Now, I know many of you might be thinking, and I can almost hear your thoughts right now. But Jennifer, sometimes it just feels so unbelievably hard. People speak so fast, like a waterfall of words. Or they use words I have no idea about, completely new words. And honestly, yes, that's completely, totally normal. Every single person feels that way at some point when they're learning a language, no matter how good they become. The main thing, the big secret really, is to approach listening in a really smart, clever way. Oh, it's not just about letting sounds hit your ears. Oh, it's about truly understanding what those sounds are trying to tell you, what they really mean deep down. And to do that, we need to train our amazing brains. Think of your brain like a muscle. just like the muscles in your arm or leg that get stronger with exercise. The more you use it for listening, really focused listening, the stronger and better it gets at understanding. We're going to explore some fantastic and simple ways that will help you figure out what you hear, even when it seems a bit tough or confusing at first. We'll break it down and make those tricky parts much, much clearer for you so you can win over them with confidence. One of the most incredibly effective ways to really boost your listening is to surround yourself with the language. What does that mean, you might ask? Surround yourself? It simply means having English all around you as much as possible, even when you're not sitting down specifically to study with books or flashcards. Imagine it this way. If you want to learn to swim, you absolutely need to spend time in the water, right? You can't learn just by reading about swimming or watching others. Well, for English listening, you need to spend time with English sounds. This doesn't mean you have to pack your bags and move to an English-speaking country tomorrow, though that would be absolutely wonderful if you could and had the chance. Instead, it means bringing English right into your everyday life, right where you are, making it a natural part of your day. For example, why not try listening to English music? Don't worry too much about understanding every single word at first. That's not the goal for now. Just let the rhythm and the sounds wash over you. Let them sink into your mind. You'll honestly be surprised how much your ear starts to pick up over time, even without trying too hard. Many popular songs have simple, repeated parts, like the main singing part, that are just perfect for people starting out. Even if you only understand the main, catchy part of the song, that's a brilliant start. That's a little win, a small victory right there. Then, as you get a bit more comfortable, feeling more confident, you can look up the words online and even sing along. This active way of listening, where you're really getting involved with the song, truly helps the language stick in your mind. You might suddenly notice certain words or sounds repeating, and that natural repetition helps them stay with you for good. Plus, music carries feelings and emotion, which can help you connect with the overall feeling and meaning of a song, even if you don't understand every single word. Think about how many times you've understood the general feeling or mood of a song in your own language without knowing all the words. It's the exact same idea here. And it's a very powerful tool for connecting with the language on a deeper level. Another simply wonderful way is to watch movies or TV shows in English. Now here's a tip, a smart piece of advice for you. Start with words on the screen in your own language if you feel you need them, just to get the main idea of the story and understand what's happening. Then, challenge yourself to switch to English words on the screen. This is a very important step. It helps your brain see the words while it hears them. Finally, and this is the big goal, try watching without any words on the screen at all. This step-by-step process is like a gentle ramp, slowly and surely helping your brain connect the sounds you hear to the written words you see, and then finally to their true meaning. It's truly like building a strong, sturdy bridge between what you hear and what you understand, making the connection unbreakable. And guess what else? Watching something you genuinely enjoy makes this whole process so much more fun and feels much less like studying. If you absolutely love funny shows, go find an English comedy that makes you laugh out loud. If you're totally into puzzles and mysteries, find an English mystery show that keeps you on the edge of your seat. Being deeply interested in what you're watching or listening to makes learning incredibly easier. When you're completely caught up in a story, your brain is working hard to understand because it wants to know what happens next. This natural desire to follow the plot makes your listening practice incredibly powerful and truly good. And don't ever be afraid to re-watch scenes or even whole parts. Every single time you watch, you'll discover something new, a hidden detail or a clear meaning, and pick up a little bit more. It's truly amazing how much you can learn and take in just by enjoying something you love. Let's try a quick little practice right now. I'm going to say a very simple sentence, and I want you to just listen to it carefully. Don't even worry about writing it down. Just focus on getting the main idea. Are you ready? The weather forecast for tomorrow predicts sunshine and warm temperatures. Now listen again, letting the sounds sink in, really paying attention. The weather forecast for tomorrow predicts sunshine and warm temperatures. What did you understand from that? Did you get the main idea that it will be sunny and warm tomorrow? If you did, that's fantastic. You're doing great. That's exactly the kind of active listening we want to build, where you're not just hearing sounds, but are truly understanding what they mean, almost instantly. This isn't just about passing some test. It's about connecting with information and connecting with people in real life, making those conversations flow naturally. Now, let's talk about another simply powerful method, a real secret weapon, focusing on keywords. This is a real shortcut for your listening. Often, even if you miss a few words in a sentence, and let's be honest, that happens to all of us, even native speakers sometimes, you can still grasp the main message by picking out the most important words. These are usually the words that tell you who is doing what, where, when, and why. They carry the most meaning in a sentence. They are the heavy lifters, the important parts that give the sentence its backbone. For instance, imagine someone says, "I went to the supermarket to buy some fresh fruits and vegetables." Even if you didn't quite catch little words like "went to the" or "some," or if they were spoken very quickly, you would most likely understand that the person bought fruits and vegetables at the supermarket. Your brain automatically looks for these key pieces of information, these anchors, because they are important for understanding the main message. This skill is super useful in real life talks where people might speak quickly or you might just not catch every single word perfectly. It helps you keep up with the flow of the conversation and respond in a way that makes sense without getting stuck. It's all about getting the main point, the core message, without needing to understand every single tiny word. It's like being in a slightly dark room and trying to find your way. You don't focus on every shadow. You look for the biggest, brightest lights, ignoring the smaller, less important ones. This clever way of doing things saves you from getting stuck and feeling upset or worried on every single new word, which can really slow down your understanding and make you feel lost. Instead, you keep moving forward, piecing together the big picture, like a detective gathering important clues. Let's try another example right now to practice finding those keywords. Listen to this sentence carefully. My friend decided to travel to Italy next month for a vacation. Now, what do you think are the keywords here? Think about the most important words that give you the main information, the important details. You probably thought of friend, travel, Italy. next month, and vacation. If you got those, you are absolutely on the right track. You understood that a friend is going to Italy for a holiday very soon. See how powerful this is? Even without catching every tiny word, you can still completely understand the meaning. This skill, once you master it, will save you so much effort and worry in real conversations, allowing you to take part more easily and with much more confidence. It's a quick and clever way to make sure you're always getting the main point of what's being said, keeping you in the loop and making communication much smoother. Now let's talk about something that can really stop us from listening well, something we sometimes call mind wandering. This happens to absolutely everyone, even when they're listening in their own language. Sometimes when we're listening, our minds just decide to go for a little walk to other places. We might start thinking about what we want to say next in the conversation, or what we need to do later in the day, or even about something totally unrelated, like what yummy food to have for dinner tonight. This is incredibly common, a very human thing, but it really does stop us from truly focusing on what's being said right now in the present moment. To improve your listening, you need to practice being fully present in the moment. When you're listening to someone, try your very best to clear your mind of all those other thoughts and just concentrate totally on their words, like shining a spotlight on them. It takes practice, just like building any new good habit. But it's such a very important step to becoming a truly great listener. Think of it as giving the speaker your full, complete attention, not just with your ears, but with your mind and focus too. It's like making sure nothing else gets in the way of that clear light. And here's an important point. If your mind does wander, and it will, because that's what brains do sometimes, don't get upset or worried with yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Just gently, kindly bring your focus back to the speaker. This act of setting yourself straight, of bringing your mind back, is a very natural and important part of the learning process. It shows you're aware and actively trying to improve, which is fantastic. Here's a quick little tip to help with this. Before you start listening to something, whether it's a podcast, a conversation, or a video, take a nice, slow, deep breath and just tell yourself, okay, I am going to focus on listening now. I am ready. It sounds incredibly simple, doesn't it? Almost too simple. But it can make a big, big difference in getting your mind ready and in the right zone for listening. It sets a clear goal, almost like telling your brain, all right, brain, now it's time to pay close attention and really take this in. You can even close your eyes for a moment if you're listening to audio only, to truly block out any other things you can see around you and help your mind focus deeply on the sound. This small routine, this little moment of getting ready, can greatly improve your concentration and, because of that, your overall understanding of what you hear. It's like giving your brain a warm-up before a big game. Let's move on to something that's often overlooked when people are learning to listen, but it's incredibly important and can really open up your world. Understanding different ways people talk or different accents. English is spoken all over the world in so many different countries. And because of that, there are so many different ways people say words, so many different accents. You have British English, American English, Australian English, Canadian English, Indian English, and many, many more. The list goes on and on like a beautiful tapestry of sounds. At first, hearing a new accent can be a bit hard, almost like learning a slightly different version of English. The rhythm of the speech, how certain vowel sounds are said, and even where the strong parts or stress falls on certain words can all change. For example, the word water sounds quite different if someone from America says it compared to someone from Britain. But here's the good news, the really great news. The more you listen to different accents, the easier it becomes. Don't just limit yourself to one type of English sound, like only American or only British. Try listening to podcasts or news from different English-speaking countries. This makes your listening skills much wider and makes you a much more flexible and able English speaker, able to understand almost anyone. For example, you could spend some time listening to BBC News for a British way of speaking, and then switch over to NPR for an American way of speaking. Your amazing brain will slowly but surely get used to and start to recognize the patterns of these different sounds, almost like learning to tell different voices apart in a beautiful group of singers. The more voices you hear, the better you become at picking out individual sounds and understanding them. This variety truly trains your ear to be more able, preparing you for real-world talks with people from all over the globe. It's a journey, and every new accent is a step forward, expanding your English world. For practice, let's try listening to a short sentence. I'll say it once with one way of speaking and then again with another. Don't worry about trying to name the accent. Just focus on understanding the words themselves, on the meaning. First, listen carefully. I'm heading to the theater tonight to see a new play. Now listen again. I'm heading to the theater tonight to see a new play. Did you notice a slight difference in how I said theater or new? Even small changes like these, tiny shifts in sound, are what your ears will gradually get used to as you listen to more diverse English. It's truly a journey of hearing many different types of English. And the more you hear, the better you get. Every new accent you encounter makes your listening muscle stronger and more flexible, making you a truly global English speaker, able to communicate with anyone, anywhere. Another fantastic and super effective way to improve your listening is by taking notes while you listen, especially if you're listening to something longer like a lesson, a detailed talk, or even a news report that gives a lot of facts. Now here's the key, and this is very important. You absolutely don't need to write down every single word. That would be far too difficult and would only stop you from actually understanding what's being said. Cray chow. Instead, focus on jotting down those crucial keywords and main ideas we talked about earlier. Use short forms, little symbols, and quick phrases that make sense to you. For example, instead of writing very important, you might just write VIMP. Or use a little arrow to show cause and effect, like rain traffic, meaning rain causes traffic. The simple act of writing, even just a few words, actually helps your brain to process and remember the information more effectively. It forces you to think about what's truly important and to summarize it in your own short words. For instance, if you're listening to a discussion about changes in the world's weather, you might just write down climate change, causes, effects, solutions. This helps you organize the information in your mind, like creating a mental map of what you're hearing, making it much easier to remember later. It's a very active way to listen that goes far beyond just quietly hearing sounds. It turns passive listening into an active, involved, and powerful learning experience that truly makes a difference. Now let's practice this idea a little bit. I'm going to read a short part, and I want you to imagine you're taking notes, Try to write down only the most important words or phrases, the ones that give you the absolute main points. Here we go. Many cities around the world are facing challenges due to increasing traffic congestion. This leads to longer commute times, air pollution, and increased stress for commuters. Solutions being explored include better public transportation, promoting cycling, and encouraging carpooling. Take a moment. What notes would you have written down? Perhaps something like cities, traffic jams, longer travel, dirty air, stress. Solutions, better buses, trains, bike riding, sharing cars. If you got something similar, you're becoming a real pro at active listening and note taking. This is a skill that will help you not just with English, but in so many parts of your life. From school to work to simply remembering important details from a chat with friends or coworkers. It's a skill for life, truly. An excellent way, and I mean truly excellent, to improve your listening understanding, especially for those of you who are around the medium English levels, is to use written versions of what's being said. Many podcasts, YouTube videos, and news websites offer written versions of what's being said in their audio or video content. This is a golden chance, a real treasure, a huge advantage. Think of it as having the answer key while you're taking a practice test. It helps you check your work and learn from your mistakes. First, listen to the sound or video without looking at the words. Just try to understand as much as you can, giving it your best shot. Don't worry at all if you miss things. That's completely part of the process and actually helps you find exactly where you have trouble, where you need to focus more. Then, listen again, this time following along with the written text. As you read and listen at the same time, your brain will start to connect the sounds you hear with the words you see on the screen or paper. This is so incredibly helpful. It helps you find words you might not have known by just listening alone. And it also helps a lot with how you say words, as you see how a word is spelled while hearing how it's said. After that, you can listen one more time without the words to see how much more you understand. This powerful way of learning helps connect the spoken and written English, making those tricky sounds suddenly make perfect sense. It's like having a detailed map for your journey through the language, helping you see clearly where you're going and understanding every little part of the language's path. Let's try a small example of how this might work. Imagine you hear this spoken phrase, "I'm looking forward to the bank holiday weekend." You might not be sure if it's bank holiday or maybe bank hold it. The sounds can sometimes blend together, can't they? It can be tricky to separate them. But if you then see the written words, the text, it clearly shows bank holiday. This immediately helps you learn the phrase correctly, and next time you hear it, your ear will be ready for it. This is a very effective way to fill in those small gaps in your understanding, building your word knowledge and improving your listening accuracy at the same time. This way of learning is especially useful for those tricky words or phrases that might sound different when spoken quickly or in a very natural, relaxed way, just like real people talk. Another very important, indeed vital part of listening is understanding the context. This is about using your common sense and all the other information around an unknown word to figure out its meaning. Sometimes you might not know a specific word, and that's completely okay. Well, it happens all the time to everyone. But the words around it, or the general situation you're in, the topic of the conversation, can give you powerful hints like little breadcrumbs leading you to the answer. about what that word means. This is called using context clues. It's like putting together pieces of a puzzle without needing to see the final picture all at once. You just need enough pieces to understand the overall image. For example, if someone says, "The new book was truly captivating. I couldn't put it down." Even if you don't know exactly what captivating means, the phrase, "I couldn't put it down," tells you it means something very interesting and enjoyable. You can smartly guess that captivating means something that holds your attention strongly, something you can't stop reading or listening to. Context is truly your best friend when it comes to understanding spoken English, especially when you hear new words. It helps you guess the meaning and keep the conversation flowing smoothly without having to stop, get nervous, and look up every single word. It's like being a super smart detective, always looking for hints and clues to solve a puzzle. The more you practice this skill, the better you become at figuring out meaning from the surroundings, which is a vital skill for truly easy and natural communication. Let's try a small context exercise. Listen to this sentence. The chef carefully prepared the delicate sauce for the dish. What do you think carefully might mean in that sentence? Think about the words around it. The words prepared, delicate sauce, and dish all suggest that the action was done with great attention and no mistakes. You wouldn't prepare a delicate sauce carelessly, would you? That wouldn't make sense. So, carefully means with great attention to detail. See how the surrounding words helped you understand the word you didn't know? This is a skill you'll use constantly every single day in real life listening. And it makes learning new words so much easier because you're learning them in a natural, useful way, not just memorizing them from a list. It's a living, breathing way to learn new words. It's also really helpful to guess what might be said next. This is called anticipation. And it's a trick good listeners use all the time, even without realizing it. They don't just react to what they hear, they also try to think ahead to predict what's coming. Based on how a sentence starts or the topic of the conversation, you can often make a smart guess, an educated guess about what's coming next. This keeps your brain active, involved, and ready to receive information, almost like a warm-up. For example, if someone starts with, "On my way to work this morning, I saw," you can pretty easily expect they're going to describe something they saw, perhaps a car accident, a new building, an old friend, or something funny. This kind of active guessing helps you understand information more quickly and easily because your brain is already warmed up and ready. It's like having a head start in a race, giving your brain a little extra time to get ready for the coming information. Your brain starts to automatically fill in the blanks, and even if your guess isn't exactly right, the very act of predicting improves your overall understanding speed and helps you connect ideas. It builds pathways in your mind. Let's practice anticipating. I'm going to start a sentence, and you can mentally finish it or just think about what might come next. I need to go to the store because. What would you expect to hear next? Probably something about needing to buy something, right? Maybe, "I need to go to the store because we're out of milk," or "I need to go to the store because I need to pick up a package." Your brain is constantly making these little predictions, often without you even realizing it. And the more you practice it, the better you become at understanding spoken English right away in real time conversations. It trains your mind to connect ideas and create a clear, logical flow of thought, making conversations feel much smoother and more natural. Speaking of understanding things right away, one of the biggest challenges for many English learners is dealing with fast speech. When native speakers talk quickly, they often link words together, shorten sounds, or speak at a pace that can feel incredibly overwhelming, like a rushing river of words where everything blends. This is where consistent listening comes in like a true hero, your best friend. The more you listen, the more your brain gets used to these natural ways of speaking. Don't try to understand every single word, especially not when someone is speaking fast. That's a trap. Instead, focus on the overall message. For instance, I'm going to often sounds like I'm gonna. This isn't laziness or bad English. It's a completely natural and common way English speakers communicate quickly and efficiently. And do you want a cup of tea? Might sound like, do you want a cup of tea? These are what we call connected speech. They can be tricky because the individual words don't sound exactly as they do when you say them slowly, one by one. Initially, they might confuse you a bit, but with regular practice, your ear will begin to recognize them naturally, almost like magic. It's like learning to recognize a new song after hearing it a few times. At first, it's just sounds, but then you pick up the tune and the words. Your brain starts to hear groups of sounds together as one unit rather than each word separately, or which is exactly how native speakers process them. Here's a quick exercise for connected speech. I'm going to say a common phrase, and I want you to try to catch how the words link together, how they smooth into each other. Could you tell me what time it is? Listen again, paying close attention to the flow of sounds. Could you tell me what time it is? Did you notice how what time it is might have sounded like what tim it is when spoken quickly? The T sound at the end of what often links with the TI sound in time, and then the E in time can link to the it, creating a beautiful smooth flow. This is completely normal, and it's something your ear will adapt to over time. The key is to listen often, allowing your brain to build these new sound patterns and become truly comfortable with the natural rhythm of spoken English. To truly master listening, and I mean really become great at it, you need to include a variety of listening materials in your daily routine. Don't just stick to one type of audio or one type of speaker. Listening to the same person or the same kind of content over and over can limit your exposure and make your ear less flexible, like a muscle that only does one exercise. Instead, listen to podcasts about topics you absolutely enjoy, whether it's history, exciting science, true crime stories, or funny comedy. Find things that genuinely interest you, things you'd want to listen to anyway, even in your own language. Watch interviews, fascinating real-life shows, current news reports, and yes, even cartoons. The more different things you listen to, the more you'll hear new words, different ways of speaking, and various ways people talk. This makes your understanding much broader and makes you a much more confident listener in any situation, ready for anything. For example, if you love cooking, why not find an English cooking show or a podcast about recipes? If you're totally into sports, find a sports show with English commentary. Learning should be enjoyable, shouldn't it? When you're deeply interested in the topic, your brain is naturally more involved and ready to learn, making the whole process much more effective and something you can keep doing for a long time. Don't ever underestimate the power of simply enjoying what you're doing. It makes learning feel like fun, not work. And here's a super useful practical tip. Try to listen actively for short periods every single day rather than one long tiring session once a week. 10 to 15 minutes of focused listening daily is much, much better and more effective than 2 hours crammed into one day once a month. Being consistent is absolutely, without a doubt, the key when it comes to getting better at any skill, and listening is no different. Make it a daily habit, just like brushing your teeth. You can easily fit it in during your travel time, while you're doing chores around the house, or during your coffee break. Just find those little pockets of time where it works best for you. Small, steady efforts done regularly will always, always lead to big, amazing results over time. Think of it as putting small amounts of money into a savings account every day. Over time, it adds up to a significant, impressive amount. Let's think about how incredibly important it is to understand tone and emotion. This goes beyond just the words themselves. When people speak, they don't just share information, they also share their feelings. The way their voice sounds, their tone, can tell you if they're happy, sad, angry, surprised, or super excited. For example, saying, "That's great," with an excited, high-pitched voice means something very different from saying, "That's great," with a flat, uninterested, maybe even sarcastic voice. The exact same words can mean completely opposite things simply by how your voice sounds. Paying close attention to these unspoken hints, how someone's voice goes up and down, how fast they speak, and how loud they are, can give you a much richer and deeper understanding of the entire message. This adds another layer of depth to your listening, helping you understand not just what is being said, but how they truly feel about it and what they really mean. It's like reading between the lines, but with your ears. This emotional understanding and listening is crucial for good communication and for building good, meaningful relationships with people. For practice, listen to how I say this sentence. First, just listen for the words alone. I can't believe it. Now listen for the emotion, the feeling behind the words. I can't believe it. And again, I can't believe it. Did you notice how the very same words meant completely different things based on my tone? This is a small but incredibly powerful part of listening that you should definitely be aware of, as it plays a huge role in everyday conversations and helps you truly connect with people. It helps you respond in the right way, show you care, and just be a better talker. Overall, finally, and this is truly important, remember to be patient with yourself. Learning a language, especially getting better at a complex skill like listening, takes time and steady, consistent effort. There will be days when you feel like you're making huge, amazing steps forward, and other days when it just feels really, really hard, like you're not getting anywhere. That's perfectly, absolutely normal. Every single person experiences this. Even native speakers sometimes mishear things or struggle to understand really complex ideas. So please be kind to yourself. Celebrate your small wins, like understanding a new phrase you just heard, or following a conversation more easily than before. Every little step forward, no matter how tiny it seems, is real progress. Don't get discouraged by what you don't understand yet. Focus on what you are learning and how much you are improving. Every little bit of listening practice, every song, every minute of a podcast, every movie contributes to your overall speaking ability and confidence. It's like building a beautiful house brick by brick. Each brick might seem small on its own, but together they create something strong, wonderful, and truly impressive. Consistent effort, even small amounts daily, will always lead to significant improvement. Trust the process. To wrap things up, let's quickly go over the main ways we talked about today to really boost your listening. We talked about surrounding yourself with English through wonderful things like music, fun movies, and entertaining TV shows. We stressed how incredibly important it is to focus on keywords to get the main idea, and to cleverly use context clues for those words you don't know. We explored the great benefits of using written text to see what you're hearing, and guessing what might be said next to keep your brain active. We also pointed out how truly important it is to listen to different ways people talk to broaden your understanding, and to be aware of how words are connected when spoken quickly. And finally, we discussed paying close attention to tone and emotion, and most importantly, being consistent and patient with your practice. These are all practical, helpful steps you can start taking right now, today. Now it's totally your turn to jump in and start using these methods. Begin today, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Find an English podcast you think you'll like, watch a short video clip, or just listen to an English song that catches your ear. Actively listen, really try to find those keywords, and use the context to help you understand. The more you practice, the more natural and easy English listening will become for you. You are absolutely on your way to speaking smart and learning fast. You have all the tools. Now it's time to use them and truly enjoy the process of becoming an even better English listener. Thank you so much for joining me on English in Advance today. It's been a real pleasure. I truly hope this session has given you some valuable tools and lots of inspiration to boost your English listening skills. Keep practicing, keep listening, and I look forward to our next session together. Until then, happy listening and take care of yourselves.